giving him credit for 10 other children that he pays child support for. Is that right?
Yes.
I don't know how to say this without just being honest with you all.
I'm going to call my first witness, Ms. Smith. Ms. Smith, will you please state your full name for the record?
Irene Smith.
And you're the mother of Amina Rose Bordelon, is that right?
Yes.
And before the suit was filed, you lived in Galveston County 6 months with the child, is that correct? Can you say it one more time? It cut off.
Yes.
And are you asked for to name you joint managing conservators with Mr. Bordelon, with you having the exclusive right to designate the residents within Galveston County and contiguous counties?
Yes.
And you're also asking the court to grant Mr. Bordelon a standard possession order. Is that correct? One more time, it cut off.
Yes.
And you're requesting that the court base child support on minimum wage. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that is only you don't have any other information on Mr. Bordelon's employment at this time. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're also asking the court to base it off minimum wage and giving him credit for 10 other children that he pays child support for. Is that right?
Yes.
And are you requesting the court to keep order that you're going to keep putting her on government health insurance and that he's going to be paying $113 in cash medical support a month?
Does he owe other cash medical? Because I think you're going to be at your 9%.
Yes, he does.
I don't think we have that. Yeah,
okay.
I thought it had to be for all cases. It had to be 9% max.
Okay. Your Honor, by any chance, would you know how much we need to set it at? I get testimony right now just so I could prepare the order after.
I honestly don't know. I mean, I know I'm familiar with this, but not that familiar. So I don't know what his cash medical is, but I would assume there is some in some of these other cases. That's not.
Yes, and I'm honestly not sure.
If you'd like to take a moment to look up the other cases, I can give you that.
Okay. Is there any? Okay. Yes, Your Honor. We could be put on a break and then I'll get that number for you. Or if you want, I could also just finish up the rest of the testimony.
Why don't you finish up the rest and then we'll take a break for you to look into that issue.
Awesome. Okay. And so you're gonna keep enrolling the child in government health insurance, correct?
Yes.
And then, you're not requesting any retroactive child support at this time?
No. And
there has been some issues that Mr. Bordelon has had with some ex-partners in the past before. And therefore that your address and his address not be disclosed. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
And it's formally called, you're requesting a non-disclosure at this time. Is that right?
Yes.
I mean, and Your Honor, I passed the witness. That's pretty much.
Does he have non-disclosure in his other cases? I'm just concerned that based on very small amount of testimony, I'm going to.
Okay. I can ask her more questions.
But do you know, because I feel like in his other cases, there's not a non-disclosure of his address. And if I grant it here, that means in all those orders, you're going to go back and ask for it again. And
Your Honor, I'm not as familiar as everyone else with Mr. Bordelon, but I do hear that a lot of people are aware of his cases, so I will need to check on that. But she did mention that Mr. Bordelon had some issues with some
he's been
partners.
Non-disclosure in his other cases, I just don't remember ever hearing that.
I didn't.
I've seen some of his ex-partners, maybe not all of them, but some.
Okay. And well, if I may just ask her for go through non-disclosure request.
Okay.
Ms. Smith, do you have your address public?
Yes.
Will you explain to the court why?
One of his children's mother that he has a restraining order on that's not supposed to come to his address frequently violates that order. And my daughter goes over there as well. So I don't want her to, while she's over there, like causing a ruckus, to somehow find my address and then tries to come here, because she's attacked me several times before in the past also.
Your Honor, would you like me to elicit a little bit more information
on her? I'm definitely going to grant. I'm just concerned about since he's not here to request it, and he's had ample opportunity to request non-disclosures. You can look into it on your end, and I guess I can look into it on my end. I'm hesitant to grant one for him and cause a cascade of information to not be disclosed to 9 different parents or 8 different parents, because that's going to have a big effect on a lot of people.
Okay. So I'll look into that, and then I'll also come back with the medical support testimony with that number. And I think other than that, Your Honor, um, I will pass the witness.
So I'm going to pause the record for you to look into those two issues.
Yes, Your Honor.
We are back on the record in 24 FD 0561. Ms. Smith, do you know why Mr. Borderline's not here today?
I don't.
And Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes, Your Honor. If I may, I would like to correct a statement that I made earlier. Ms. Smith, we're actually giving Mr. Borderline credit for 9 other children. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
I
So
have a question about that, actually.
okay.
Are those all children he has orders for? Or
Yes.
my understanding is he has children that live with him.
Yes.
Does that include the children that live with him, that 9?
How many kids live with him, Ms. Smith?
3 children live with him.
I guess there's 12 children total, and that didn't include those, Your Honor. I've been trying to count as best as I could, so I apologize to the court.
That's okay. I wasn't sure if it did or didn't.
I counted all the ones there's orders for, and you know, I don't have him here to testify to the kids that live with him, so I wasn't. Ms. Smith may be able to if she has that knowledge.
Ms. Smith, do you have that? It sounds like you do. Do you have that knowledge, Ms. Smith?
3 children live with him.
Are they minors?
Yes.
Okay. And Your Honor, then I'll just prove it up and then add the number if that's okay. I don't have it off the top of my head. And then for the medical support, Your Honor, it would be $99 a month in cash medical. Does that still sound?
So he's only paying $14 in cash medical? I'm sorry? So 99 is what he's paying currently?
I see what you're doing now, Your Honor. I apologize. I see how you're getting there now. I just got to how you're doing it right now. So I guess we'll have to come back, Ms. Smith, just so I can make sure what he's paying in cash medical and just the difference is I think is what Judge is saying.
Yeah, I believe that's all that can be ordered because there's a maximum of 9%.
And Your Honor, if there's 12 other cases, there might not be any wiggle room left for
much not left. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe if the court allows, can we set it as low as $5?
Yeah, I was thinking something low anyway with the situation at hand, in light of his wages and other responsibilities.
I just would like to set something, even if it's $5 or $10, that would be okay with the state. And
Mr. Rodriguez, do you have a copy of that protective order by any chance?
No, Your Honor, it was a testimony. Ms. Smith let me know that there was a restraining order that she's aware of on one of the ex-relationships of Mr. Borderline.
Does she know what the restraining order says and what it does? Because the restraining order is different than a protective order.
Ms. Smith, do you know?
It's still in effect?
Yes, it is still in effect, and it's against Megan Martinez. She is not supposed to be at the residence at all, nor around the children's school, the 3 children that live with him.
And do you know, Ms. Smith, that maybe you do know if she was charged with any crime?
I think assault to a family member. I don't know.
If you're not sure, it's okay. That's okay.
I'm not sure.
Do you know how to spell her name?
Megan Martinez.
When the protective order was gotten?
I'm not for sure. It was recent though. It's all within the last year or 2. It's with the children's mother that he has custody to now.
He has custody of those children?
Yes.
You know what county it was out of?
Galveston.
I don't. Is there a way for you to get a copy of it?
Of the restraining order?
Yes. I don't know how to say this without just being honest with you all. He's been before me numerous times very recently and has never brought this issue up. So I'm concerned again about the gravity of what I'd be doing.
Your Honor,
protective orders already have the address in place. My understanding is he rents out his backyard, so his address is public record anyway. So I'm just concerned about the gravity of what I'm doing versus the reality of what I'm aware of.
And it sounds like Ms. Smith may be okay with the non-disclosure just on her, Your Honor. Is that something we can move forward on today then?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And it's okay. Are you okay, Ms. Smith, then with not requesting anything about his address since it's probably public record anyway?
Yes, it was always just for my address.
Perfect.
I wasn't concerned about his address.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So I am going to find that Mr. Borderline is in default. He's been served, his answer time has elapsed, and that service return has been on file for more than 10 days. He was provided notice of today's setting and has not appeared. I'm going to appoint you to joint managing conservators and give you, Ms. Smith, the right to determine the primary residence of your child within any Galveston County and any county contiguous to Galveston County. I'm going to order that he has visitation, Mr. Borderline, through the standard possession order. I'm going to set his child support due to you based on minimum wage, giving him credit for the 9 other children he pays support for, as well as the 3 children that live in his house. So 12 other children total. And that will be guideline support based on minimum wage. I'm going to order that you continue with a government medical assistance program and set cash medical at $5 each month beginning August 1st of 2024. And I'm going to grant the non-disclosure as to your address and phone number, ma'am. But you're still ordered to provide that information to Mr. Borderline. It just doesn't have to go in the court order.
Okay.
And I'm going to deny any back child support based on your request. And were you requesting?
Court cost, Your Honor.
Yes, did you have a date?
December 31st, 2024, as
And
billed to Mr. Bordelon.
I'm ordering that Mr. Borderline pay any court costs to Galveston by December 31st of 2024. I believe that covers it. So the AG's office is going to draft an order based on my ruling today, and they'll send it to you to review and to sign off on, ma'am. So they're going to have you go back to your great gut room. Wait for that. But thank you so much for coming in today, and good luck with everything going forward.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
And I understand that I have to pay something for Nathan, but it just feels unfair because Jake deliberately took them from me. I believe that this was very much orchestrated. He went through court to get custody the proper way in August of 2022. It was denied by the judge, and he kind of set this plan into motion after that. And I feel like I'm being punished for that. And, you know, like he had Nathan for a week and then filed to abate the child support. His motive 100% of the time has just been to get money from me.